Welcome to the Wholesaling Inc. podcast, America's #1 podcast for new real estate investors, where we know that finding discounted properties is the most proven path to financial freedom. I am your host, Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP, Mr. Talk to People, and I am telling you this: if I can do it, so can you. So let's get started. Let me start with this. Let me start with what is commonly referred to as the 3 Ps. All right. The 3 Ps are the thing that is stopping you from taking action. The 3 Ps are the things that are kind of holding you back. You know, you get excited about this business and you get fired up about this business. And you see the potential of this business and you see the unbelievable potential of owning real estate and being a real estate entrepreneur. But the 3 Ps hold you back. And that is procrastination, paralysis by analysis, and perfectionism, right? Each one can be named. Each one should be. You should investigate inside yourself and see if any one of these 3 Ps holds you back. Because on this conversation that I'm having on this podcast, I'm going to show you 2 guys out of Birmingham, Alabama, that have completely destroyed these 3 Ps and have been taking serious action. Listen to this. Listen to these stats. In the last 10 months, they've closed 40 deals. 40 deals for $400,000. Not only that, they have 30 deals pending that they estimate it's not closed, so you never know, but it's really going to be close to this. Another 200,000 in profits. That's 600,000 in their first year, really taking action, really doing this business, really being proactive. It is my pleasure to bring to the Wholesaling Inc. podcast, the Rhino Tribe, Ryan Hampton and Joseph Teneo. Say hello, guys. Really happy to have you on here.
We're fired up, Brent. We appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I love your guys' story. I love what you guys are doing. I love what you guys are stand for. So give us a recap. Like, how did you find wholesaling real estate and what is your background?
Ryan tells the story best. So
Quick story. I grew up in it. My dad's a landlord. Didn't really have a taste for it, but decided to start studying it. And I became a nurse to try to do my good deed to change the world, right? And ended up getting burned out, working 60 hours a week. And once I got COVID, I decided to apply some of the stuff I've learned from podcasts, started driving for dollars, and we built my little Facebook page and sent that over to Joseph, which he had reached out to me a few years earlier on Bigger Pockets. We had coffee together, and I just sat there and watched him go crush it as a real estate agent while I stayed in the mindset of a typical clock puncher, right? I got to work harder for that money, the hourly wage. And finally, send him that Facebook link, and he's like, "Are you really doing this? Let's go ahead and do this together." And the rest is history. We started driving for dollars together. He took the leads I had already gotten. We put them right in his dialer and started getting deals.
Yeah, Brent, and we forgot to tell you this. This business started in Panera, making cold calls in Panera, like having people look at us weird. I mean,
thanks to Panera Bread.
So wait a second. So you're sitting in, everybody's enjoying their lunch, and you're like in, a booth making cold calls to distressed property owners?
Yeah,
exactly.
About 11 o'clock, the old folks start rolling in to eat lunch, and they're hearing you, "Hey, I'd like to buy your house."
So I love it. I love it. Literally, I mean, I know people that do it from everywhere. I know truck drivers that do it from their trucks. I know people that do it driving Uber. I know people that do it, in restaurants or at the public library. You can get, private offices at public libraries. That's a great spot as well for free Wi-Fi and everything else. So listen, if there is a will, there is a way. That is absolutely for sure. I love it, guys. I mean, so kind of educate me a little bit, because I love the way that you guys squatted up. And when we say squatted up, you connected, and you guys connected through Bigger Pockets. How did that happen? Was there a specific post that you put out there? Is there a community? I'm not really familiar with Bigger Pockets website, but how did you guys connect?
Yeah, I think Bigger Pockets is mainly for people trying to grow a portfolio, right, of rental property. So that's what I always wanted to do. I wanted to not work for the man. I wanted to be my own, just have rental properties, passively income. So I just reached out to somebody in my city, right? And I saw Ryan had posted, And it was a big coincidence because he was actually a nurse with my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
So that was even crazier.
Yeah.
And then we just, that's where it kind of started. I mean, if you, anything.
Yeah. So, yeah, just got on Bigger Pockets. Anybody who's hungry to get into real estate, you grab at anything available, right? And it's really good content until I found Wholesaling Inc. and I had to drop all of that.
Yeah.
Come on. Well, I agree. But so how does it, okay, so you meet for coffee, you guys are having a conversation. Joseph, what's your background?
Oh, yeah.
So I came from a retail background, but I was a real estate agent for 3 years before I started wholesaling. So
okay, got it. So you understand the terminology. I mean, it sounds like you guys both kind of had a head start of where a lot of people are coming that are just fresh and brand new, that don't really have a family connection to real estate or the experience in real estate like you and I have, Joseph, right? You know, I was an agent for a long time, you know, honed, you know, the vocabulary, honed the process, really understood what was going on there. I mean, did you feel pretty confident switching tracks from retail over to off market, or was it tough?
It was pretty easy. Like I said, and I was used to making probably 200 calls a day to people trying to get listings. And I started wholesaling before I got rid of my license. And I got rid of it, by the way, because I make more as a wholesaler. So it was an easy transition for me. So I don't think I would be as far as I am if I wouldn't have been an agent first. I will say that. So
got it. And why real estate? I mean, I get it, Ryan. Your dad is a landlord. He's been doing it. You've probably had to you know, help him out and help fix up houses and you know, mow lawns or something, right? Growing up. I mean, did you see that? And that was kind of like your path to, okay, this is what I want to do. Did you guys read something? Did you guys see somebody that you grew up with that was just, you know, going bananas with their rental portfolio or fixing and flipping? Like, what really brought you guys to the real estate industry?
Well, for me, definitely part of that was growing up in it. I saw most of the labor part of it because I was helping my dad fix things all the time, right? But when I was around 18, you know, I had kind of a troubled upbringing as a teenager. I was out there, you know, running the streets a lot and all that good stuff, right? Until the good Lord got a hold of me. And looking back, my dad's the one that he was a construction worker, right? He had to work super hard and live really frugal in order to buy his properties. But to this day, you know, he retired at 55 with 14 properties and he's living very comfortable. So looking back and seeing the choices he made, I realized there's no way I can like put my life in the hands of some corporation to create my destiny, right? I've got to, you know, use the freedom the good Lord gives us to go after the American dream on my own.
I love it. I love it. Joseph?
So I don't know. I have an accounting degree, so I never saw myself just sitting behind a desk all day. And I just didn't like the idea of having a cap on income. And I saw all these people without degrees making millions. And I'm just like, most of them were from real estate. So that's really what drew me. I wanted the freedom, the I don't know, financial freedom, personal freedom. I wanted to be coaching my son's baseball game while I have people paying rent and, you know, that kind of thing. So I knew that real estate was probably the quickest way. So that's when I became an agent and started just kind of crushing it from there.
And one of the biggest messages everybody's heard, probably, if you've listened to one or two real estate podcasts, is why would you, it's probably the least safest bet if you go to college 5 years and spend 35 to 50 years just working in the same cubicle the rest of your life to hopefully get your pension. You know, it doesn't sound like the most fulfilled life, right?
Right.
And for me personally, I always had a dream to do missionary work, you know, go to places that aren't so fortunate like we are and really just give them some of our blessings, right? And just to make a difference, right?
Yep.
So
I love it.
Real estate.
So internally, you guys have this fire, right? Internally, you're like, okay, I don't want to live this average life. Don't want to punch the clock. You know, you did it and you understood, you know, I want to help people out, but I want to help people out in a different way that I can control and be able to not have a ceiling on your income. But what about external? What does your friends say? What do your family say? What is the support system like? as you guys are making this transition, because it's very difficult,
Yeah.
right? It's very difficult for, sometimes family and friends to be able to understand what we're trying to do, or understand, that we're not a nurse anymore. We're going to be a real estate entrepreneur. How is it? How's the support system? What does that look like? What advice would you give to anybody else that's making that transition from doing, maybe a traditional job 9 to 5 into being a entrepreneur?
Yeah. It just kind of brings me back to when I was reading Grant Cardone's book. Was it Be Obsessed or Be Average?
Okay.
When we have a lot of like his mom, he said, was his biggest naysayer. When he went to go buy all these apartment buildings, she was like, what if you get calls at midnight and stuff? And I had the same kind of parents, so I had to just kind of go out on my own and just prove them wrong. And I haven't struggled since I got into real estate. So that's one thing. And I would just say, like, if somebody has a lot of naysayers, you kind of have to just go for it. You have to take a leap of faith. You have to take action, because without action, you're not going to get anywhere. And probably the most supportive person is my wife as well, because she's a stay-at-home mom, and we just gotten married. I just graduated college, and I was becoming an agent with no guaranteed income, and she's never complained or anything. So.
Yeah. What was that conversation, Joseph? I mean, is it just like, what? I think I could do this. I think I could be good at real estate, and you got all these responsibilities now. And she's like, yeah, I believe in you.
Yeah, she's always says that I'm like very determined in anything I do. I don't just nibble at stuff. If I'm going to do something, I kind of just throw everything at it. I haven't been a W-2 employee in I don't know how long. So
see, and I think that really, like, the really key thing about that, what you said there, and I think it's very special, is she believes that you can do it because you went out there and you've proved it before. You don't just talk, right?
Yeah.
When you just talk about ideas and you're throwing things out, you're actually going out there and you're taking action. And she's seeing a pattern of, if Joseph puts his mind to it, he's going to make it happen. Right. And for everybody out there that, before having this conversation with your family and your friends and your loved ones, maybe it's important to just start the ball rolling. Maybe it is important to get this ball rolling and show that you're going to actually take action. And this isn't just, you pumping yourself up and saying and getting excited about something, but taking it to the next level. The excitement is wonderful, but it's a flash in the pan compared to actually going out there, being brave enough, having the courage to pick up the phone and start making things happen. Because that's what it all comes down to. I don't care what it is as an entrepreneur. If you're not talking to people, you're going to have a big problem. And in our business, in the business of wholesaling real estate, in the business of being a real estate entrepreneur, it all comes down to this thing. It all comes down to your phone and your ability to effectively use it. So I love that you mentioned that. And Ryan, what about you? What about that transition from being a nurse to all of a sudden you're going to, you know what I mean? You went to school for this. You did the hours. You did that's a lot of work. My wife's a nurse. I tell you, we talked about it off air, but
it was a lot of work. I'm probably going to hang on to that license, just, and work part-time and keep it up. But, so it was kind of challenging for my wife, and anybody that's heading into doing this full-time, but definitely have as many talks as you can. I'm sure Joseph went through some of the early stages when he went to be an entrepreneur and as a real estate agent. And, you really gotta sell it before you sell it. Right. And so my wife, she's used to, her dad worked 2 jobs growing up. He worked really hard and provided very well, a lot of security, no ups and downs. So it was a little scary for her, but then when those big checks start rolling in, she was really happy. Finally got to take her to like the resorts that she's always dreamed of going to. And, it was good. And my dad, he was pretty proud. We have a lot of talks about what we're doing and tries to give us advice.
I bet.
Yeah. And I'll add something there. It's important. Like, I didn't have a plan B. I think that was huge too. So it was just like, I'm not going to fail at this. Like, I don't have anything to fall back on. So this is going to work, So
and the beautiful thing about this business is truly, 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 if you are out there having enough quality conversations with distressed property owners, you can't fail. You literally cannot fail. Absolutely. I'm telling you, if you talk to enough, right? I mean, you guys know. You guys are in this every single day. So you literally cannot. I mean, that is the focus. The focus is just having those quality conversations with distressed property owners. And really, there's only a few ways to do that. One is they call you That's you spending money for marketing and them calling you. But it's expensive. So some people, when they're starting out, don't have that budget to be able to do that. So you either have to get referrals from people that you know or real estate agents, or you got to be proactive, pick up the phone and call people. And that's what you guys were doing in Panera Bread. Not only that, but you guys have really pushed it. And so talk to me about lead generation. Talk to me about how do you guys get enough leads to do 70 deals in a year?
Yeah. So that's one big thing I forgot to mention. I would say about 70 to 80% of that 400 grand came from cold calling. So we started out with us doing the calls. We use your script.
Yep.
Start out. I think that's like perfect, just because it's not too abrasive. It's just more of friendly. So we started using that, and then we were like, I think our time could be spent doing other things and train people how to do this. So we brought on call motivated sellers based off your recommendation.
Absolutely.
And that's only increased it tenfold. I guess you can add.
It's really helped a lot. They've been so good. They just hit the ground running. They're trained on your systems. So each one's a pro, and they just sit there and hand you leads all day, and you follow up on them and get the deals locked up. It's been great.
Yeah, compared to our other marketing strategy, cold calling is by far is what got us to where we are.
Yeah.
I love it. And listen, call motivated sellers. I've worked with them. I've had a caller with them for 3 years, which is like unheard of in our industry. Fran, she's been an absolute superstar, made a fortune for her. But listen, I mean, it's expensive. It's Americans making calls, and but I find it's definitely the Bentley of phone prospecting for sure. But so you guys, so is that you just have your caller with call motivated sellers, and then are you guys just following up with leads? Like what do you guys talk to me about what you guys are doing right now?
Yeah, so that's mainly what we do. We have a cold caller, and a lot of our deals have came from referrals past, it'd be a seller that, hey, I got this property too. I mean, that we closed a fourplex for $55,000 we made on that deal. The first deal that led to that one was $7,000. So I mean, zero in marketing expense on the back end. So I mean, that's just the power of talking to somebody first,
Absolutely.
That's it. And finding out if they have other properties that they want to sell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so powerful, especially, if you get that first one done and you see that there's potential for more. It's okay to, get 7,000 on the first deal. And then, what did you say? 55?
55.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, we'll take a small one to get a big one. For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So who gets the leads? Who's following up with the leads? Who's going on the appointments?
Primarily me. Yeah, Joseph jumps in every now and then whenever I'm having a slow day, and we'll tag team it together.
We've hammered that out like accountability chart. So now it's the pivotal moment. Our first acquisition specialist is coming on board Thursday. So
I love it. I love it. That's the next step. Yeah.
I think that 400 is going to turn into $1 million and more with him.
Without a doubt. And just listen, with your acquisition manager, one, accountability is huge, but two, this person should be natural. You know what I mean? This person should have those skills. This person should be drop them in a room anywhere in the world, and they're making friends. You know what I mean? This isn't just for you guys, but this is for everybody out there that's at that point now where their business is ready to bring on a really good acquisition manager. And remember, acquisition manager's job is really only 3 things, right? Pre-qualify the lead, do the lead follow-up, and the offer presentation. That's pretty much the bulk of their job role is those 3 things. And if they can handle that and do a really good, effective job, you're right. You're on your way to 7 figures for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. And I'll add that too. We hired Todd Toback as a coach, and he's just really got us to where, we need to be. I mean, we started with you, Brent, and then we went to Todd. He's really hammered in to increase deal size. And that's what we're really focusing on right now. I mean,
that's been a challenge to move from turning down $7,000 spreads, saying no to that until they can come to our number, and going after the bigger spreads. We have 3 under contract right now. They're worth over $250,000. Yeah. And they should bring at least 25 grand a piece.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, great. I mean, Todd took my business from 12,000 to now we're over 42,000 a deal.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's just the principles that he lays out there are absolutely incredible. So that's awesome. So let's break down a deal. Let's talk about a deal that you guys went through. Let's really put you in the hot seat. I want to know how you found it, how long it took, what the condition was, what their timeline was, what their motivation was, and what price you got it at. And then we're gonna ring this bell. So
okay, great. Hey, before we transition, can I just wanted to throw Jamie from CMS out there. She's been really helpful, and our cold caller Jim. She's been wonderful, and also that acquisitions program they got going on. We're thinking about doing that as well. Awesome. And love to get your feedback sometime on it.
Yeah, absolutely. So the CMS is the Call Motivated Sellers guys. They're a group that recruits and trains phone prospectors, and now they're branching into acquisition managers as well. If you have any interest in that, callmotivatedsellers.com and use the coupon code TTP. They have preference that gives you preferential. They push you to the top of the list. Literally, they push you to the top of the list. I make sure that they push you to the top of the list. So, check that out. But let's break down this deal.
So, all right, one of our mornings we were going to meet at Panera, right? I got an early start, and before Joseph got there, I decided to go do some driving for dollars. Literally 10 minutes away from the Panera Bread that we were going to. There was this little road that most people don't travel down. So I said, maybe I'll just go check it out. And drive back there, and I see this house that was beautiful at one time, looks completely dilapidated. I saved it in the Deal Machine app and went on to Panera and talked to Joseph about it. And we skip traced it the normal way, and we could not find the owner. So Joseph pulled out some of his ninja real estate tricks.
So we use white pages. White pages, we started calling every number that gave us, and it led us to a relative from the owner, and the owner happened to be deceased.
Yeah. So
we kind of, it took some digging and clawing to get that right data, and we happened to call the relative, and he was kind of reluctant to sell at first. It took a couple calls, and we met him one day, walked the property, and we locked up that deal, and we made about.
Hold on. Not yet. Not yet. So, real quick. So you skip traced it and got the phone numbers. None of the phone numbers were working for you. So then you just went on to whitepages.com, put in the address, found some more numbers there, tried all those, and caught a relative.
Yes.
Is that your normal procedure?
We usually get the good data with batch skip tracing, but this one, I think because she was deceased and it hadn't been handled, that it wasn't giving us the right number. So
I think we integrated a little bit of Facebook cruising around here to try to find somebody.
Sure.
But this was great. The guy, he was pretty much like the most responsible person in the family. He had been made executor of several family members, and the poor lady, she let her health go, turned into a hoarder house, and passed away. The chimney was literally so rotten around, it was falling in, and he was scared to let anybody in without him. So he thought it would fall to the floor.
The seller was like, "Are you guys sure you want to buy this? Because I don't think it's worth it." And then
he sold it for the price of the land, and it's fully renovated now. And
so the property was in rough condition.
I mean, you couldn't walk through the living room. There was so much trash everywhere.
It's knee-high trash.
And is that just, it was just filled with like personal property? Was the build, like once that was emptied out, did it have potential?
But
you couldn't see the potential because of so much junk. So
you couldn't.
It was one of those.
Now we would go ahead and take it down. If we came across that property right now, we'd figure out a way to keep it.
Right. Yeah. So what price did you put it under contract for?
So 35,000.
35,000, and then you were able to sell that to an investor for how much?
65,000.
65,000. So you guys made 30,000 net on it.
Net, no hammers lifted.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. You know what's coming.
All right. There's the bell.
I love it. Congratulations. I mean, literally, look at what you guys are doing there. You guys are, sitting there. You're in Panera. You go down a street that you usually don't. You find this property. Nobody knows how to get a hold of the owner. You take that extra step because, listen, most people, this is what happens. Address, right? Get the phone number, call, didn't get a hold of them, move on.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That's
Right?
what I was going to bring up too. People hit roadblocks and they give up. So
This is what I'm talking about. When people talk about, there's more people making calls, or the competition seems like the owner's talking to a lot of people. Listen, if you can't get a hold of somebody, and you know that this is a driving for dollars lead, and I know that you guys do a lot of driving for dollars deals, but you take it that next step. If you just go quality over the quantity as these next coming years, I'm telling you, start going quality. This is something that we're doing, adjusting in our business as well. If you really get obsessed with certain properties that are really, really rough, and you do everything you can to get a hold of those property owners, you are going to have a unique advantage. Were you guys negotiating against anybody else?
No one.
No.
Basically, the only obstacle was in his mind, the seller's mind, because he was back and forth until he kept trying to make excuses why not to sell. And finally, Joseph stepped up and said, "Sir, are you comfortable if you never sell this property?" Like he put that reality in his mind.
Right.
Like, okay, well, yeah, let's do this.
I love it. But listen, if you can't get them on the phone, great. Go to the door. Oh, nobody's there. It's vacant. Okay. Leave a note. Okay. You can't get them there. Try to find a mailing address. Mail them.
Yeah.
Nope. You can't find them there. Okay. Go on Facebook and try to DM them, or Instagram and try to DM them. See if you can get a hold of them that way. Go to White Pages and get a hold of the relatives. You can also try AmericanTracers.com as a last ditch effort to try to pull out any kind of other phone number that you can get for somebody. And listen, if you try all of those and you still can't get a hold of them, great. You did what you can. Think creatively if you can think of any other ways to get them, but you should have talked to somebody. If you were trying to get a hold of them, you should have talked to somebody that can put you in touch with a decision maker.
And that goes back to one of our core values as a company is perseverance. When we hit roadblocks, we bring 3 solutions and we figure out, hey, let's bring the whole team together. What can we do to solve this?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So, that incredible. So you've got you two guys, you've got an acquisition manager coming on, you've got a cold caller. Anybody else in your organization?
So we have an admin. His name's Hugo. And actually I want to throw out a shout out to Virtual Latinos. That was through Todd Toback's reference to amazing VAs there. Amazing.
Very good.
And they're Virtual Latinos. Love it.
Virtual Latinos.
Yeah. They're actually in a better time zone for US versus like Philippines or
love it. Really that is incredible, guys. Shout it out to everybody, to Hugo, to Jamie, to Jim. I love it. That's incredible. So guys, if somebody wants to squat up with you, if they want to connect with you, if they just want to tell you congratulations, if they want to maybe, joint venture with you on some deals in Birmingham, they're kind of getting new, they're newer and they need, some hand holding, or they just need some help to push a deal through the finish line. How do people get a hold of you?
So I would email admin. Info at highcrownhomebuyers.com.
Say that again. Info at
highcrownhomebuyers.com.
High crown, like a crown?
Yes.
High Crown.
HIGHCROWN.
Homebuyers.com.
Homebuyers.com. Love it.
Absolutely. Or, we're very active on Facebook. If anybody want to reach out on there, we can get back to you as quickly.
Just under your guys' name?
Yes.
And we'll put that link in the show notes, so that'll make it very easy for everybody to reach out. But guys, what an inspiration! I mean, from totally, from building momentum and starting this thing 10 months ago, closing 40 deals, 400,000, and 30 pending at 200,000, with essentially you 4 or 5 people. That's incredible. 5 just starting. So really 4 people. That's what I love. I love being able to keep the profits, right? Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point, right, guys? I mean, wholesaling is the ATM. Wholesaling is not real estate investing. Wholesaling is the foundation being able to source discounted properties is the foundation for building a wonderfully successful real estate business, whether that be buying and holding those in a portfolio, whether you want to be creative and go out there and fix and flip, or you want to develop, or you just want to build a big, heavy, healthy bank account that you can lend money to other people that are real estate entrepreneurs. All of those are options, but it starts with the foundation of sourcing those real estate deals. And I'm excited. So what's the next chapter? What are you guys, what are you guys going to do? What's your big real estate goals, I should say?
Well, for now, we're putting all the people in the right seats so this thing can run without our absolute daily involvement, right? And getting our portfolio built up.
And, eventually want to expand to other markets as well. So
definitely. Yeah,
I love it.
We're looking at some Florida markets. We got some family members down there. So, by the way, remind me, I got to send you some Arizona show low properties.
I'm ready. I am ready. Yeah. I'll take those all day long. Absolutely. I love it. Okay. Well, great, guys. Listen, thank you for being on here. What an inspiration. Just being proactive, getting out there. You can build momentum quickly in this if you're being consistent and you're making sure that you're squeezing every opportunity out of every lead and every conversation that you're having with the distressed property owner. So Joseph, Ryan, absolutely incredible. Thank you for being on here, guys. I just want to recap. Todd Toback, if you're interested in his training program, that's convertwholesaledeals.com, convertwholesaledeals.com, for the most professional, the absolute best, the people that I use for cold calling, callmotivatedsellers.com. You mentioned dealmachine.com for the driving for dollars. And you also mentioned batch skip tracing for getting the phone numbers. Make sure you guys use the coupon code on any of those, TTP, and you get discounts or move to the top of the line. And that's it, guys. I really thank you so much for being on here. And if you guys are interested in joining the most proactive group in real estate investing, it is the TTP family. Go to wholesalinginc.com/TTP. That's wholesalinginc.com/TTP. Check it out. Check out what the program's all about. Check out all the testimonials and success stories. You're going to have to scroll for a while. If it feels good in your gut, sign up for a call, and I look forward to working with you personally. And until next time, I encourage you, as always, to go out there and talk to people. Love you guys. See ya.